and besides that one, I was already talking about this shit a year ago. It's definitely not possible for minorities to just strap up and stop being poor. And I remember I deleted everyone's comments because it got into this huge, yeah, this dumbass, this fucking Jesus, like yo, everybody was in those comments talking about like how my father came here with nothing and he made a life for himself and everything. And every time I ever hear an argument about minorities being poor, I'm sorry, every time I hear the argument against that, there's the counter argument always comes to personal responsibility, to which I will subtext away from this to show you this clip again because it's like people didn't get it the first time. So let's hope you guys get it this time.
Richard Howell. I'm a senior.
No. I wanna go just to the important part.
As well as blacks.
No, I was just talking about your backfield.
No, you're saying blacks are superior. Let's have some fun. We'll put his name on his property.
Let's do it.
Oh, good idea. These people love graffiti. Hey, man, stop. Come on. Take it easy, man. Come on. Hey, you want something?
Oh, this is their retelling of it. Sorry. That was a funny part of the episode.
Well,
The days at Kent State.
thank you. Thank you. Let's go. Thank you. Come on, miss.
Now that is a black girl worth doing.
Hold on. Hang on. You better go, man. Come on, man. Take it easy. Look easy. I'm tired. Come on, man.
I should have sprayed that in your face, man.
Whoa, a confession!
Hold on.
Yeah, now we're getting somewhere.
Why'd you do it, son?
He was in my face.
Oh, now there's a reason.
No, it's because of how they are.
How are they?
You know.
No, I don't. Tell me.
They have no respect. They don't care about this country at all. All they do is sit on their butt and complain.
And what do they have to complain about? It's because of them and their quotas that I'm not in the Ivy League.
Yo, so, oh man, empathy. Here's the be all end all justification for this entire stream. I don't want to say it was like scenes like this on television that are the reason the paradigm shift exists, but this is the reason why like I really started to take a look at the world from a different standpoint. You make yourself to be the victim of a system that you created for just yourself. So when it doesn't work out as you plan, it's our fault. It's black people's fault that all of a sudden you're not getting the perks of society that you want, which makes jack shit sense to me. And it infuriates me to a point where, like, I care about my white brothers more than my white brothers care about me. To the point where I have to cut off the word brother because at the end of the day, while I know that, and I'm just saying this to be that person, I have white friends. I do. But I have a lot of friends. And I feel like when it comes to my white friends, there is that subtle understanding of the societal difference between me and them, and that always gets reciprocated. I don't feel like, oh, they're hanging out with me because I'm a black guy and they need a black guy to make themselves look cool. They don't know that they don't feel like I'm leeching off of their societal influence. We're friends. We connect and we bond in a way that we understand, and we share each other's accomplishments. We're true friends. But they know that there are certain people that they can't bring me around because they're prejudiced or they're racist. Or if they're seen that way, it causes another issue. They'll still bring me to these places because they don't give a shit. But they don't think about me in a box. And I don't think about them in a box. But I've met too many white people who think of me in a box. I've had it happen to me. I've had the fucking thing happen to me. I'll be on a phone call for an interview. I go to the interview. oh, you don't look how you sound. And it's like, I could really snap you. I could really smack you for saying that, but I choose not to because that's not my place right now. That's not the place for this. But we allow these racial undertones to sink into our daily lives to the point where we don't recognize it enough to say, wow, that's racist. I'm not calling you the N-word. I'm just saying you sounded different on the phone. Yeah, what did I sound like though? Can you tell me? Like, that's my thing. And when you want to have empathy for other people, you also have to remind yourself that those people might not have empathy for you. That's when the decision has to come into play. Are you going to be a human for humanity, or are you going to be a human for your lifetime? Because people live in their lifetimes. I'm going to get it while I can get it, then I die, and it's whatever. I'm trying to make an impact. I'm trying to spin people's minds to say, maybe we could approach all of these situations in a different way. Maybe our identities don't have to be stuck on these boxes. Maybe we could find a way to connect the boxes and make a grid. And in this grid, even though we all stand in our own squares, all the squares are equal. That's not where we're at right now. And like, that's what people like this do. It's because of them and their quotas that I'm not in the Ivy League. He's going to go on and explain this, and I'm going to play the clip further. But, like, you can't expect me to be able to speak on all these different issues, while at the same time, it's just an issue for me existing. I brought it up earlier in the stream. I'll bring it up again. I was arrested. If I was a white filmmaker walking down the street with Vin Diesel, I'm not getting pulled over for checking out or standing in front of a house and saying, that'd be a great location to film at. But because I'm black, I remember I was wearing a suit, I was wearing I had my gear, everything, all of that was there. All of that was there. There's no way that you're telling me somebody who was white, who was looking like that, was going to get the same treatment. There's no way. You can't tell me that that was going to happen. That's not possible. And if you are telling me that that was going to happen, then we have a great difference in the way we think about, like, literally anything. Literally anything. And that fundamental difference is the problem that I have with a lot of society today, is that they refuse to even think maybe the other people have a great point. Because one side is pushing for better advocacy for public issues for all. The other side is saying you're too focused on one group. What about all people? You do realize that if poor people benefit, it's not just minorities that get the benefit. It's all poor people. Like, you're so stuck on all these things that your ancestors did, not realizing they had the ability to because society didn't have extra chains holding them back. They started from zero, fair, but they started from a different zero. They started from a different square one. And there's something that needs to be said out loud, and I don't know why people aren't saying it, to everyone. There are different square ones. And as we progress forward in society, we need to eliminate the ability for different square ones to exist. That's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, and that's fine. But I'm tired of living my life saying, I could relate to that. I've had that happen to me. Because I don't want that for my children. I don't want that for my students now. But it happens to them too. And I end up being the one to have to tell them, yeah, this is reality. Here's how you have to deal with it. Instead of saying, that's a one-off. That's one of those weird people. That won't happen in your day-to-day life. No, it will. And everyone says it. There was a show on Netflix, Woke. Everyone says, it could never be me. It will be you. And it don't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter how you're acting, how you present yourself. You could have the best speaking voice in the world. Hello, sir. My name is Marquise Green. It's a pleasure to meet you. Hi, how are you doing? And everything could be fine. And they're still going to find a reason to say, well, he's one of those, so. Oh, now it don't work no more. Now, I was able to click away before, and now it don't want to work no more. I ain't even changed nothing. Hold on, let me go back here and see if that helps. Nope. Now it don't want to work no more. I was chilling. We was chill.
Where I belong.
You all had quotas for centuries. You called them legacies, restricted country clubs, the law.
Oh, hey, my grandfather came to this country with nothing. He couldn't even speak the language. But he worked hard, and he made a place for himself and his family. Now, why can't you people do the same?
Now, before he says it, see, You view hard work as a box. He couldn't even speak the language, but he worked hard and he built something for him and his family. What about the people who were here before your grandfather came? Who had to learn to read and write, off of like literal throwaway books and throwaway text. They weren't even supposed to. We'll keep them stupid so that way they don't revolt against us. They built everything and they got none of it. They got none of it. That's why we can't do the same. Because you took what we built and built off of it. We want what we built and to build off of it. But the last time we tried that, we got massacred in a city known as Tulsa.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee.
Y'all remember segregation? Like that was a thing. That was a thing. We said no Negroes allowed in a store that we probably built. You're kidding me. You're kidding me if you want to have an empathetic conversation on things like this and you want to say, okay, we're all one people, we're all united, let's do. That's why COVID's such an easy issue to divide people on. Because it requires you, it's the perfect litmus test. It's the shopping cart test. You don't have to put on a mask. You might not infect anybody and nobody might infect you. But just doing it for the sake of everyone else makes everyone feel a little bit safer about the struggles they have to go through each and every day when they get up and go to work or have to go out for groceries or just want to go out and see the fucking sun. You're kidding me if you're telling me, yeah, that's not a reality I want to live in.
I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
Riveting history lesson, Professor.
All right. Just let him...
See, like, yo, you could tell them straight to their face, hey, this is reality. What do you think? Sarcastic clap. Wow, that was a really great speech. Want to tell us again about how much your people suffered? Like,
They say he's right.
What did you say?
I said he's right. I'm not at A&M because quotas kept me out of another school. I'm here because I always wanted to go here. You know, when I was growing up, I used to play all the time with black kids. I never thought anything about it. Then one day, I must have been about 9, I was fishing with my dad and uncle. My dad told my uncle this joke. He said, what do you call a Negro physician from Virginia? A nigger.
No.
I'd heard that word before, but never from my father. So he probably wouldn't have minded what we did today. But I'm ashamed. I'm sorry.
now there's that's empathetic. That's literally an empathetic response. Now the question is, how do you turn the other two people on that? And you would think, okay, maybe if they see their own kind doing it, maybe then they'll say, okay, maybe we've gone too far. But that won't stop them. And in the end of this episode, you're going to see that doesn't stop them.
Hey, man, I don't want your apology. I want their arms broken. I want no punishment. And I want my car fixed now.
You don't see your part in all this, do you?
I'm the victim.
More brothers on the team?
Well, that's just the truth.
Oh, so you're comfortable with the stereotype that all black people can do is run?
Hey, look, we don't expect a fair shake from you, officer.
That's right, I'm a white man.
That's right.
I could be a card-carrying member of the Klan.
Never know.
Or I could have marched with Dr. King. You don't know. Maybe you should look at me as an individual and not as a color.
Okay. Great point. But he's still a cop. He's still like he made a great point about being white. Okay, I'll give you that one. But he's still a cop. And it's fuck ops.
Legacies, restricted.
You don't see your choice? Let's go, Wolfie. Going downtown.
You know, I jumped at the chance to get in this suit, become another species. You make me ashamed. Ashamed to be a mammal. By the way, your wallet, it's in with the others.
You get your car fixed, you give me the bill, I'll see that they reimburse you. Go on. And since you're so good with paint, I'm gonna call the folks at Hillman and see if they got some buildings need a fresh coat. Come on. Go.
I think that's a
Negro
fair.
physician from the South. I have to remember that one.
What? See, told you. It doesn't matter what you say to them. People are locked in. And when I say people, I mean people who don't have empathetic response. You're just black. That's it. That's it for you.
See you next Saturday. What? For what? For more. Oh, for much more. So that things can change.
Hey, I'm not spending my Saturdays singing We Are the World.
Oh, you think you have a choice? Unless maybe your hard-working family would like to hear you've been kicked out of school. Oh, and bring a snack. I like donuts.
I give him that one.
Well, I can't wait until next Saturday.
Drop it and buy us some burgers on you, gambling man.
Man, I'm...
See you guys next Saturday.
Shit hurts my heart. Sorry I had to go on that tangent, but yeah. Yeah, like, I remember that I've been talking about that for a long period of time already. And this conversation, like, devolved into some very nasty shit about how, like, if you keep making excuses for yourself, you're always going to be held down. And I'm not saying that people don't have a level of personal responsibility. What I am saying is that there's other factors to look into. And it really comes down to generational wealth and who we are as a people and what we want to represent as a people. And I feel like we're not doing that at all across the board. Because there are people who are fighting for justice everywhere. And they're getting clowned because, oh, they're not saying the right phrase. Oh, this catchphrase is going to turn people off. It should make you uncomfortable. Because if there was a need for society to eliminate a rule or put a rule in place to stop things from happening, if we lived in a fair and just society, that's what would happen. We wouldn't have to ask for it, but we still have to ask for it. And that's what gets me upset. I just did pictures. What was I looking for as well? This is when I was teaching. I was teaching a bunch of 6th and 7th graders, and we were learning about films and how to get through it. They started with their monologue, they started with a dialogue, and then learning how to do dialogues, and then screenwriting, motive, and what was that? Directing, I think, yeah. And from there, they would learn about different parts of the stage, what they would need, like what steps are next, really breaking down how to create a film in a fast amount of time, especially for short. Y'all know my small creators out there, you got to do things very fast, very quick. And that just made me like think. That just. I didn't go to class today, and I realized that even if I did nothing in class, that's where I want to be at. That's where I want to be, at least. This was another white girl who was crazy over me and then blocked me because I insulted her religion. Yeah, great job there. I was in a band at this point. Hey, yeah, I used to blog. I remember those blogs. I took them over from MySpace. I was doing daily blogs, and they were like essays. And they gained like a little bit of traction. I guess that was my first social media advent thing. But yeah, that's how I feel. That's how it should be. What's going on Twitter? Yeah. Tim Pool's a tool. Back to the parking ticket.
Toyota.
Oh, please don't tell me it's a Toyota Yaris. Oh my gosh, seriously?
Yeah.
What happened? No.
This is what's on there.
Oh, why did I get that?
Did I just get a parking ticket? Shoot. That's weird. I just put money in the meter.
I paid it for 2 hours at quarter of.
I paid for the parking meter.
Did you? And it said approved.
Because the sign said like 2 hours at like 10 p.m. So I was like, oh, I should be okay.
Son of a gun.
It sucks.
Oh,
Did you get a parking ticket?
Yeah. I thought that street was safe though, because today's Monday, right?
It is Monday.
So it said no, there's street sweeping on Tuesday, and then it said 2 hours between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m.
You sure it wasn't 10 a.m. and 6 p.m.?
I should probably take a picture of it and try to.
It's like, dang. I don't know how I got a ticket. I'm not in the red.
Now I try to cheer them up. To one batch of volunteers, I would show some sympathy by acknowledging their frustration, but trying to get them to look on the bright side.
Did you get a parking ticket?
Yeah.
Wow, that sucks.
I'm not exactly sure why.
Good thing they caught it. Maybe it would have gotten towed if it had been there longer or something like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Gotta look on the bright side.
Could have been worse, I guess.
Oh man.
You know? And it's not like you're gonna get towed or anything.
Do they do that around here?
They're vicious. Yeah, at least you didn't get towed or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe you can fight it.
I hope so, because I'm kind of like, that's a little.
Yeah.
For the other batch, I would show empathy by sharing their frustration and embracing it.
Did you get a parking ticket?
Yes, but I just paid for 2 hours.
Ouch!
They're the worst.
They just blow your whole day.
Yeah.
I'm stunned. It was $63.
Oh no. The tickets are so expensive. Maybe they made a mistake or something. That sucks though.
I don't. The credit card didn't go through. Or
Maybe.
something,
Yeah, because like you just walk away, right, after you do it.
It said approved before we walked away.
Oh, shoot. I swear, like my car was one time 13 inches from the curb, and they were like, too much.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I've gotten parking tickets from the city, and like that were not fair. And I know like everybody says that, but I swear.
After knocking back one full dose of either sympathy or empathy, we had our participants take a reworded happiness test to see how they were impacted.
Do you need me to take that quiz again? The answers are going to change.
Actually, that's a really good idea. Just for the sake of us, for our data.
Do you want to take this one with rolling or now?
Keep in mind, I didn't actually do anything to make their ticket go away. Both groups still took that second test thinking they got a ticket today.
Ready to start the experiment?
Yeah.
Cool. You've actually already done the experiment. You did not get a parking ticket today.
Oh, that's amazing.
All right, so breathe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you feel a little better?
Yeah.
That makes me really happy.
That looks so real. I was like, I thought it was a ticket. And I was like, wait a second, like.
I know I checked the signs. What did I do wrong?
The group I sympathized with saw their happiness go down by an average of 6.71%. Not shocking, really. What was surprising was how the people I empathized with felt afterwards. We expected their self-reported happiness level to decrease, but not as much as the other group. In reality, their happiness went up by an average of 6.92%. Turns out, misery really does love company.
I felt like we were on the same team, like the same side. Like, oh, you know, this guy knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Feeling like I'm not the only person that gets a ton of parking tickets made me feel better, and I was like, okay, you're good. Like, this'll, you know, blow over.
If someone like really sits down and is like, oh my gosh, we'll figure this out, I'm on your team, then you feel like they're kind of going above and beyond being a decent human being.
That sucks that you had to go through that. You know, that's like the typical, like your average response. Like people who really care, they're like, yeah, I've been there. You know, they'll take the time to relate with your situation to help you feel better, to get you out of it.
Now, I'm not saying trying to maintain a positive outlook isn't a good idea. But right when someone's feeling the pain, the best thing you can do to cheer them up is to understand them and make them feel a bit less alone.
We just need someone to talk to, and like we just need someone that is genuinely listening to our problems. And sometimes all you need to do is like let it out.
Because you forget how that can make you feel and how instantly that can make you feel better.
People.
And that's what I'm saying about the persecution of, or the assumed persecution of somebody who, the assumed persecution of somebody who's never faced persecution is, it's hard for me to have an empathetic response when all you're doing is reacting to a mild inconvenience. It's different for rich people. I can make fun of them because at the end of the day, they have enough money to overturn any court case, any family issue. Oh, we can get you health care here, there, everywhere. At the same time, it's harder for me to have It's harder for me to have empathy towards literally anybody who doesn't view these plights as an important issue, because you're directly ignoring something that could happen to you. And it's because either you know it won't happen to you, or that you have the means for it not to be as damaging to your psyche